Nigeria has 215 cubic kilometers a year of available surface water. More than a third of Nigeria's states are named after their water sources. Despite this, only 19% of Nigeria's population has access to safe drinking water. And the major cause of water scarcity in Nigeria is pollution. The nation's capital is not exempt from this disappointing fact. In our feature story, we look at water scarcity in Abuja, causes and possible solutions. Water has become a precious commodity for residents of Durumi as water scarcity hits parts of the nation's capital. This stream is the only source of water for residents of the community, and they've gathered here to carry out their domestic chores.
We are suffering for water.
Apart from this stream that we are defecation, no this in water in Durumi. So no tap this in no this in no tap, no this in bowl. It's only this stream that is helping us here.
Since on Saturday, we are suffering for water, no water to eat, to use and cook and eat. We are suffering, standing here waiting for water for a long since on Saturday. We don't have water. Please, let government to help us so that they will bring water for us in Durumi here. We are coming this river and fetching water, dragging quarrel, fighting, because of to get water to eat and bath and washing clothes.
Since last week, we started suffering about water. We don't know whether we are still using the water. Look at the water we are using now; it's not good. Like some of us now, maybe I will not talk on my own, but some people now they have sickness. If they use this water to drink or do anything, cook, it can bring any more sickness for them. It's not good. So you should help us there, Buhari, to beg, allow us free the water for us. Because no water, no light. It's not good. So.
Esther Badu operates a restaurant in the community, and the scarcity is affecting her business.
The small pepper soup I'm cooking now, how much jerrycan am I going to use? Like 5. That's almost 1,000 naira. It's too much. 200 per jerrycan. It's too much. If they are working on it, let them do it. Let them help us to repair the pump, or they should pour water to us.
The scarcity also extends to some highbrow areas in the federal capital city, including the Apo Legislative Quarters, which houses some members of the National Assembly.
This is National Assembly quarters. This is where big men they live as no water. No anybody complain. Because some people get borehole, some people never get borehole. Now the people where they get borehole, now then they go help the people where they don't have borehole. So what the government was supposed to do, make them help people, make them bring this water back. Whether the water have problem, make them settle the matter, make them help people. Because you get another people where they never even carrying water for their life, for these quarters. So you go see people there around. In the morning, in the evening, you go see people there around with bucket for their hand, and they're looking for water. So may government do something about the issue.
The residents here rely on their security guards and house helps to source for water. For them, getting water has become a Herculean task.
The situation of the water is too much. Tomorrow is making it 1 week. We don't have water. Pure water, 1 bag is 200 naira. How can somebody afford 1 bag? If you have 5 children, how many bags will you buy a day? Pure water is 200 naira. Jerrycan of water is 150, 200. Not talking of food though, you can't buy food, you can't buy water, you can't buy pure water. Please, we are calling on the government. They should have mercy and remember that there is God though. Please, things is difficult for the masses. Look at that guy now, look at the water he carry. That water is 200 naira. How will you buy for water 800 naira? It's very bad.
The water situation is very bad. We are suffering almost a week now. I remember the day before yesterday, I go bought 1 truck. That is 12 jerrycan, 2,400 naira. From now, even now, we don't see the water to buy itself. If you say I see the water, I will buy. more than this 2,400. But I didn't see the water. We are suffering of water. Please, we are begging for government to help us in these quarters.
Kubwa Satellite Town is another area that the scarcity is having a major effect on. Residents have to depend on good-spirited individuals to be able to get water. This means some would have to leave their offices to get water for the family.
I live in Kubwa, and we have been having these water issues since last weekend, about a week now. We have been suffering because of this shortage of water or lack of water in this axis. Definitely I'm supposed to be on my way to work, but you can see what one is passing through. You have to come out, look for a place to fetch water and take care of other things before going to work. Ordinarily, it's not supposed to be so. So you can see that it is really affecting one's activities.
We've not been finding it easy. Sometimes I'm supposed to be in office now, but because we need water, I have to rush back home to see what we can use. After the first warning, they gave us first warning that within 3 days it will be restored. Then we waited, that one was restored as said around 11 p.m. on that Sunday. But 2 days later, the water just stopped. We were not seeing water again without any information.
The acting general manager of the FCT Water Board explains that the scarcity was caused by a burst pipe, which affected some parts of the nation's capital.
It was really unfortunate that we had a pipe burst in the Lower Osman Dam, that is where we produce water. The pipe burst caused that shortage because the pipe is a pipeline that's supposed to take water from Lower Osman Dam itself, that where we have the raw water, send it into the treatment plants. So in the process of doing that, the thing just got burst like that. It's a mechanical thing, so nobody expected it. Immediately this happened, we mobilized to site. The first plan we had, Plan A, failed because they felt they can just bring out, when they had discovered the real problem, they brought it out, tried to make some repairs. But unfortunately, one of the materials that was to be used to couple the pipe was not in the country. And it was only out of the country we could get that, which was impossible because France had it, but they are on lockdown, as I speak with you. So we tried to do other things. But unfortunately, last Sunday, after we were rejoicing, we can restore water immediately. We tried the process and we had the same problem, that leakage. We had to shut down again. So now we have come to Plan B, as to do some welding and other engineering network to make sure that we restore water.
The FCT Water Board is pleading with residents to exercise some patience as engineers from the board are working to fix the problem and restore the supply as soon as possible. My guest on the program is Patricia Obro, a water sanitation and hygiene expert and the deputy head of WASH Department of Action Against Hunger. She talks to us about the focus of World Water Day 2021 and the plans to achieve Sustainable Development Goal 6, the problem of open defecation, and Nigeria's plan to be open defecation free by 2025. Patricia, welcome to Dateline Abuja.
Thank you so much.
Let's begin from the nation's capital. For almost a week, we've had people who are not able to access water. And this will also resonate with many communities across the country because, in Abuja, it's easy for us to think that everything is fine. And then lack of water sometimes can be an anomaly, because we are used to having water. But in recent times, it's become a problem in the FCT. How much of the problem is water supply in Nigerians' urban cities?
Oh, well, this is really a huge problem in urban cities in Nigeria because there are various factors that really can lead to that. One, which is very common, is urbanization, that is migrating from the rural areas into the urban cities. And you see, when we have more population in urban areas, it means the demand for water is going to really be huge. And really, that is one of the huge problems we have. Secondly, there's also the issue of water quality. So when we talk about water quality, this really is really affected by climate change, which we are all experiencing all over the world. So that is something that is really very serious currently. And if you see, sometimes the seasonal times really differ compared to what it used to be. We have also issue of energy scarcity. Energy scarcity is something that is really one of the biggest problem we have. And what is happening now, so many countries are trying to look for alternative sources of power, and which I feel Nigeria needs to key in, because the different regions of the country have different capacity to really be able to generate their own source of energy. So I think when we key into such different resources, we'll be able to get water to our various houses. Another thing which is really very key, but people tend to shy away from, is deforestation. Really, the climate change, as I said, affects most of our communities, our states, our urban areas. And people tend to fell trees as much as possible, and don't really plant trees. And this water, these trees, they try to store water, which can really help us in our urban areas. So planting of trees is something that we really need to key in to be able to generate groundwater and to get this water in our various urban centers.
The Sustainable Development Goal 6 is one of the key focuses of World Water Day this year: water and sanitation for all by 2030. But only 19% of Nigeria's population has access to safe drinking water. What can governments do to address this beyond setting up mini water schemes all over the communities, which hasn't really improved the situation? What more should governments be doing?
Okay, for me, that is really something that is very key. Government really need to invest more. They need to invest more in infrastructure, which water is part of it. Allocate budget, especially at the local government and state level, for water, small water towns. Because right now, when you come to various states, you see that this really exists in various LGAs. So we can look at small water towns as part of what government needs to really invest on, to be able to, because most of the pipes and facilities on ground are already dilapidated. So government needs to invest more and budget more for that really to be resuscitated. We also talk about strengthening LGA bodies, institutions. The local governments do have a whole lot of work to do, but they cannot do that when they are not really strengthened. That is, money and budget needs to be given to them and also released, because at some state level, we have budgets already allocated to LGAs, but they are really not adequately released. So this really needs to be put in place. There's something too that is very paramount, that in Nigeria we really lack, that is operation and maintenance. Before now, I guess from our grandparents, we hear that this was really not a very big issue, because we had water running from our water boards and things like that. But some of these things are really dilapidated, and they really need operation and maintenance. So for me, that is something the government needs to really key into and really invest more to be able to operate and maintain some of this infrastructure we have already on ground.
One of the problems with inadequate water supply is that it adds to the problem of open defecation. And there have been so many there's actually a proclamation stopping people from defecating outside, but it just isn't working. Patricia, what do you think is making this fail? If we've been dealing with this open defecation for so long, at some point it was a national embarrassment to the country, but we still have this going on, and it's tied a lot to poor water supply, especially in rural communities. What could be done about this situation?
For this, so many things really needs to be done. We are #1 in the world right now. That is really devastating. Right now,
I think that's something Nigerians need to know. We are #1. when it comes
Yes,
to
number
open
one,
defecation in the
defecation.
world, which means that
Yes.
we are the number one country to have people
Yeah.
defecating outside.
Yes, that is true. So just like as I was saying, as at November 2020, we had only 33 LGAs in the whole country that are open defecation free. And that means if we are looking at open defecation free nation as at 2025, it means every month we need to have 13 LGAs out of the 771 remaining, or 774 LGAs, and we have 741 now remaining as open defecation. We need to have 13 LGAs each month open defecation free to be able to achieve that. But really, the federal government have been doing its best. But for me, one of the things that the state government needs to do is to really domesticate what the federal government is doing. So when we talk about open defecation free roadmaps, most states have really not keyed into it. So that needs to be adopted and really domesticated at state level. We talk about compulsory legislative advocacy. There was already a bill which has passed second reading for prosecuting persons who defecate openly. So this the federal government is doing, but the states at state level, the states and the local government needs to really take importance measures to make sure that this is really domesticated at state level and at LGA level. Now, the traditional rulers at local government levels, they need to play a key part in this, and they can really motivate and they can motivate their citizens to be able to build their own latrines. But the state government needs to put a whole lot of effort at this. Also, funding is important, because if you look at what Indian did, Indian was able to build latrines for its citizens. But for us, we are trying to advocate that we use our local materials we find within our locality to be able to build community simple latrines, like we have what we call the VIP latrine, which is ventilated improved latrine and pit latrine. This is something you can do with the resources that you can find within our localities. So for us, we need to do this holistically as partners, as government, as individuals. It's our countries, our nation. So we need to do this together to make sure that this really is attainable. And I believe.
So, can we do it? Can we end open defecation by 2025? Let us know using the social media handles showing on your screen. 81% of Nigerians is a massive number not having access to safe drinking water. It's unacceptable in a country where the Niger runs through. Harnessing this abundant resource and making it work for us is the right way to go, and the steps to get that done should be immediate. The planet is not getting any younger. That's our show today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kayla Megwa. See you next time.